up there? Maybe a little higher. I think we need to go higher.
Can we do a little higher?
Test, test, test. Sorry, we're testing the mic now. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we might as well just get started. Alright. Well, hello and welcome to the 9th Annual Champions for Children event. I'm Nate Pryor, your board chair for 4C. Thank you all for being here. For the past 47 years, 4C staff has advocated and championed Sonoma County children and their families. We continue to ensure our community has resources and support for accessible high-quality child care for all who need it. Now I'd like to acknowledge our elected officials. Please hold your applause to the very end. Senator Mike McGuire. Samantha Hunt, Field Representative, Assemblymember Mark Levine. Chris Rogers, Vice Mayor, City of Santa Rosa. Dominic Foley, Mayor, Town of Windsor. Gina Kuklas Tennant, Sonoma County Office of Education. Ed Sheffield, Santa Rosa City School Board. Victor McKnight, Mark West School Board. And Katie Sanchez, Bennett Valley Unified. Is there anyone I missed today? Great. Now I'd like to thank our sponsors. Again, I'd like you to hold your applause to the end. Without them, we would not be able to do the things we do in the community, so we thank them very much for their support. Our champion sponsors are Flanagan Wine, Rutherford Burbank Savings, and Summit State Bank. Our bid sponsors are Exchange Bank, Kaiser Permanente, Petaluma Healthcare District, PG&E, St. Joseph Health, Santa Rosa Golf and Country Club, and Western Health Advantage. I had to change the page. Our table sponsors are Tina Page and Friends, Freedom Mortgage, Early Learning Institute, Corazon Fieldberg, Santa Rosa Community Health, Missy Dannenberg, Pat Boblet, and Catherine Hallahan Doris. Friend sponsors, hopefully I got those names correct. Friend sponsors are Moss Adams, Commission of the Status of Women, Redwood Hill Farm and Creamery, Curry Landscape, Sutter Health, Accent Printing and Design, and Sound Ideas Advertising. Thank you very much for watching. Okay, without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to introduce Senator Mike McGuire and Auctioneer Keith McLean to take you through the rest of the event. Come on up, guys.
Well, good afternoon. How's everybody doing? On behalf of the entire 4C's board and their amazing team, we want to welcome you to the 9th Annual Champions for Children Award. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for 4C's. Come on now. This year's event is extra special, and we're dedicating this year's event to the amazing Evelyn Cheatham. Evelyn recently passed away. She was the founder and executive director of Work Our Way for many years here in Sonoma County, giving underprivileged kids a chance to be able to earn a job and contribute here in Sonoma County. And we lost her suddenly. She was a 2013 Champion for Children Award winner. Today is her service. If we could give her a round of applause and say thank you for her service. You know, after the last couple of weeks we've had in Sonoma County, with the Kincaid fire, the power shut-offs, and by the way, they're going to be passing around hard alcohol shortly. I don't know about you, but it feels really good. It feels really good to be able to come together as friends and neighbors and colleagues and celebrate the people who make our community the best place to live and work in America. And let's give it up for Sonoma County, everyone. And especially after the last couple of weeks that we've had, we are so grateful that you're here today making our kids a top priority in Sonoma County. And true to our word every year, today's ceremony is going to be inspiring. It's going to uplift you as we move into the weekend, and we promise you we get you out of here by 1:30 as well and back to work. As you know, 4Cs is all about equity, providing equal access to high-quality childcare and early education to all students in big cities and small, from all backgrounds. And it takes significant resources to be able to provide high-quality preschool to 526 kids every year, or making 1.1 million healthy and nutritious meals that are given to kids in Sonoma County by 4Cs every year, or providing 1,350 vouchers to be able to go to preschool or be able to get into an early education program. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to get up to the true heroes of today. Let's give it up for 4Cs. Come on, guys. That we need to be able to raise today. I'm going to turn it over to the man, the myth, the legend. He is the best auctioneer in the state of California. Let's give it up for Keith McClain.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Yeah, we're about to get started here, but I just want to thank everybody again for coming out. Like you said, Sonoma County's been through some amazing times recently, but we're coming together, and it's one of my favorite events to do every year. So glad to be back. So thanks again, Mike. We'll turn it right back over to you, and we'll have a really special appeal coming up. So when that happens, bid high, bid regular, bid often, and we'll check back with you shortly. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, it is my honor to be able to introduce the executive director of 4Cs. Melanie, she is tenacious. She is one of the hardest working people that I know. And she and her team stepped up during the Kincaid fire to be able to provide child care to 116 kids from 16 months to 16 years old to medical professionals at Memorial St. Joseph's Health, as they were the only hospital operating on the 101 corridor since Kaiser, Sutter, and Hillsburg was evacuated. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear you loud and proud. Let's give it up for Melanie, who's going to be talking to us. Let's give it up for the team, and let's say thank you to 4Cs, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, good afternoon. Oh, that's not saying that. Let's improvise. So, good afternoon and welcome. On behalf of the 4Cs Board of Directors and our 4Cs team, I am thrilled to welcome you to our 9th Annual Champions for Children Award celebration. And truly, thank you for being here. I know our thoughts and minds are all over the place this week with what we've recently been through. And today, we're going to have lunch together, and we're going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate and recognize 6 amazing Sonoma County champions and who support our youth and children every day. So first, I would like to extend my appreciation to our selection committee for sharing their time with us and making a very difficult decision. And a huge congratulations to each of our nominees and, of course, our award recipients. Your work is truly inspired, and it is your commitment that raises our community up and puts children and their needs in the spotlight. And for that, we are honored to recognize each of you today. I'd like to also thank all of our new and continuing champion sponsors. It's the ongoing support and partnership from these businesses and individuals that truly help 4Cs to thrive. So thank you very much. It's November again, and today is the anniversary, as you know, of the Butte County Camp Fire. It's also 1 month since our second anniversary of the Tubbs Fire, and now we're experiencing the aftermath of the Kincaid Fire, and the largest mandatory evacuation in Sonoma County's history. A huge thank you, of course, to our first responders, our emergency workers, elected officials, organizations, and volunteers, many of you here in this room, who have come together to protect and support our community during and after the fire. I'm always in awe, and I feel very hopeful when I see how Sonoma County continues to stand together through trauma and tragedy. We may be exhausted, a bit on edge. Our go bags are definitely packed. Our flashlights and our battery-operated candles are ready. And we might just throw our cell phones across the room if we get another one of those emergency alerts. But all of that has not prevented everyone from reaching out to help a neighbor, a friend, a family member, or a stranger in need. Everyone is doing their part, and that is what truly makes us Sonoma strong. It's times like these that our local champions shine so bright. So each year I get the opportunity to bring you up to speed on the work of 4Cs. As usual, we had a super busy year, and now it's nice to be able to look back and say, wow, we did accomplish quite a bit. Last year, I shared that we had a new mission statement. This year, you are the first audience to see our fabulous new logo. Woo! Our new logo was important for us to have it reflect back on our 47-year history. The adult figure in our logo represents a parent. It represents a child care provider. It represents 4Cs surrounding the community. It represents our community surrounding our families. And of course, our 3 small figures represent children and can also represent the community that we hug and support in our work every day. If you look at the program for Champions for Children, this logo reflects directly to the logo that is on your program, which was the 4C's 1970s logo. So we truly have come full circle. The importance of investing and building high-quality childcare keeps our parents earning and our children learning, and that's not a secret anymore. Our community understands that it is one of the soundest investments that we can make, with an $8.60 return expected for every dollar invested in childcare. 4Cs has been on a path to build and rebuild childcare in Sonoma County in new and creative ways, and at the same time strengthening the foundation of our existing programs. Through our agency values of collaboration, inclusivity, community, education, respect, opportunity, and advocacy, we have some impressive outcomes to share this year. 4Cs has continued to partner with the Santa Rosa Metro Chamber of Commerce, providing education and data to the ongoing collaborative that is working on employer-supported childcare. This year, there have been 2 requests for proposals introduced from Keysake Technologies and the County Office of Education to hopefully build new early care and education programs that will add additional space for kids. 4Cs is also exploring ways to provide business access to our local family child care providers for infant and toddler slots. The dialogue continues and remains strong. 4Cs also, in partnership with First 5 Sonoma County and the Low Income Investment Fund, has explored models and is encouraging local opportunities to plan for and build childcare into new low-income housing developments. 4C's Licensed Family Child Care Training Program, known as SIP, the Child Care Initiative Project, has expanded its reach with responsive funding from our local First 5 Sonoma County. 4Cs has reduced barriers and is rebuilding family child care capacity across Sonoma. Over the last 18 months, we have trained 102 providers, 26 who have already received their license, and 11 more with licenses pending. That is 296 additional spaces for kids in our community. This bilingual training program is also now a part of the Santa Rosa Junior College's Adult Education Certificate Program. So participants are not only becoming child care providers, but they're receiving additional support and educational opportunities. And we cannot build more child care without having access to highly educated and well-paid workforce. At the state level, we continue to advocate for greatly increased reimbursement rates so that we can invest in worthy wages for our preschool and early care and education teachers. They deserve our respect, not only in praise, but also in providing a living wage so that they can live well here in our community. Adding new facilities without addressing the wages and the lack of the workforce will ultimately not increase our overall capacity. So additional advocacy that Four Cs is doing, we're increasing family access to state child care vouchers and preschool programs. Child care is a significant expense in any family's income or in their budget, $14,000 to $18,000 every year for full day, full year care for a child. Today, a family of 4 in Sonoma County that is making up to $80,628 is eligible for state child care preschool support. This eligibility level, as you can see, has more than doubled since 2016. Very huge. So many more families have access. It allows families to keep their jobs, to pay their rent, to put food on the table, and hopefully stay here in Sonoma County. Not only are more families eligible, but there are more state-funded child care vouchers and preschool slots available in Sonoma County. Last year, Four Cs was able to enroll an additional 200 children birthed to age 12 in our voucher programs. To now we are serving 1,350 kids. And again, by June of this year, we will enroll an additional 250 kids. Huge. Four Cs in partnership also with the Roseland School District has added another full day, full year preschool program that's serving 24 kids. As we see these investments from our leaders at the state level become realized in our community, and since my 18 years at Four Cs, we've seen the biggest drop on our eligibility list, that waiting list of families. Last year at this time, we were almost 2,900 kids on that list. This year, there's 1,281. And those kids still need care, those ones that are sitting there. So pop-up child care, this is a new term for me. And it's become very critical in building our child care capacity during emergencies. When our community is facing widespread power outages, fires, evacuations, and poor air quality, many of our schools and our child care facilities close for the safety of our kids and the safety of the teachers. As we are all too aware during these times, it's still essential that our first responders and our emergency workers are able to get to work. They are coordinating our resources, fighting fires, evacuating, and caring for our patients. What happens for a first responder who's required to go to work, but is a single parent? Or both parents must go to work, but school and child care is closed. What if they have no local family members to support them? In 2017, Four Cs provided pop-up child care for the first time. And we did it again last week in response to the needs of our community. Many businesses also allowed employees to bring their children to work when it was safe. But first, in early October, during the PSPS, if you don't know the new acronym, turn to someone at your table and share what PSPS is. Four Cs partnered with St. Joseph's Healthcare, and then again during the week of the Kincaid fire and evacuation, Four Cs worked with St. Joe's, Kaiser, and Petaluma Health Centers to provide pop-up childcare to ensure that their medical teams could be at work. Utilizing a conference room from the medical providers, Four Cs toy lending library materials, donations from our community of art supplies and food, and a team of over 90 Four Cs staff and volunteers in 3 separate sites, pop-up sites. They were all in operation all last week. And I'm going to pause here, and they were led by an amazing human being in our organization, Miss Tiffany Montgomery. Thank you, Tiffany. She is amazing in her, not only did she do that last week, and then she switched, and here we are today, and this is also because of Tiffany, so we can't thank her enough. We served, as Senator McGuire said, 116 children last week during the course of the week with ages 16 months to 16 years. Four Cs is very proud to have been a part of the response needed for our community. This was the part that we could do. So the building of capacity and knowledge in how to plan for this type of emergency pop-up childcare is absolutely critical. Similar to an evacuation center, space for emergency pop-up childcare should be designated and partnerships created with care providers and volunteers. Four Cs has learned so much from 2017 and over the past days and weeks. We look forward to sharing our newfound expertise and making this a reality for any potential future disasters. In just a few moments, you'll even get to hear a little bit more about that. So as I wrap up here, I'm extremely proud of the services 4Cs continues to provide to our community. Last year, I said, we need to open new programs, support existing programs, look for creative and innovative ways to increase childcare slots and open new facilities, all while not neglecting our workforce. Well, all of this is in process. And we cannot let up at this time, especially given our recent crisis. Investments that have been made need to be sustained, and we must continue our work together. We must support and guide childcare projects to fruition and continue to reduce barriers. It will take time, but we can and we will build childcare capacity here in Sonoma County. Access to quality early care and education ensures that Sonoma County remains a great place for our families and for our businesses to thrive. And 4Cs stands ready to continue to lead and partner in these efforts. Thank you very much. So, and now we're going to roll a video to share a little bit more information about the pop-up childcare from the perspective of St. Joe's.
When the plans were announced to do the rolling shutoffs of PG&E, we realized that as we began to plan for it, that many of our caregivers would be impacted because schools were closed, community services, childcare was closed. And so that being the limiting factor to having our caregivers be here at work, that need presented itself. And almost before we asked for some help, we heard from Jeannie that the 4Cs had offered their services. And so that was really wonderful. And that's how this all began, and the 4Cs together with Kathy really made this happen. And it made a huge difference for our caregivers being able to come to work. There was no asking or digging. It was, this is what we need, and we don't know what kind of response we're gonna have, but can you make it happen? And they did. And what was amazing was, it wasn't just for that first episode of power outages. Then when the fires came, we already had a model, and we just said, Kathy, Tiffany, take it away again.
We've done this 3 separate times now. The first time it was for 2 days, the next time it was for 1, and this last time was for 5 days straight.
Whether it's because of where we're situated, or it's just our position to be here for the community, we are. And we're always open. No matter what is needed, we're always open. So in order to make that happen, especially with knowing that we were going to have more and more people from the community, especially as the repopulation happened, coming home, we knew that the need for patient care, the need for our caregivers to be at work was going to really equal out to needing more childcare.
Their parents would show up to get them, and they wouldn't want to leave with them. And I'm not just making that up. I mean, that actually happened. They'd say, Mom, I'm not ready to go. I was working on this art project or something.
Every time we have a challenge or a disaster, we learn new things. And we put them together with all of the resources and the learnings that we've had about things we've learned and things we want to keep and share should this need to happen again. And it just means we'll be safer and better and more supportive of our caregivers as well as the community. We are just so very grateful for the outreach from the 4Cs, and it really helped to keep our caregivers at work, which is where we needed them to be. So had we not had this collaboration available, a lot more of our caregivers and their children might have had to leave the community during this time. So it was wonderful. We appreciate it.
So my friends, this is truly why we're here today. Think about it, with the disaster, the fires, and just the chaos. Sonoma 4Cs was there, figuring out what do we need to do, what do we know how to do, how can we help, how can we make an incredible amount of difference, and they truly did with these pop-up child care centers. So I'm going to start by asking for generous donations in the amount of $5,000 down to $2,500, $1,000, $500, $250, and all the way to $100 with the goal being that one of those amounts, one of those investments in the children of Sonoma County is going to work for every person or every couple in this room. So on that note, who wants to jump in, really make a difference here, kick us off with a generous donation in the amount of $5,000. Do we have any $5,000 donors here tonight? $5,000, number 160. That's fantastic. Anybody? It feels good, doesn't it? Anybody else at the $5,000 level? Again, folks, rising to the occasion. You know, when they figured out what needs to be done here and they get it done, Sonoma Four Seas gets it done here in our community. Anybody else at the $5,000 level? Is that a comfortable level for anybody else here? $5,000? Wonderful. How about $2,500? Do you have anybody at the $2,500 level? Anybody wants to come in, really feeling, want to make a difference? $2,500 in the back there, number 215. Thank you guys. 2,500, number 215. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Anybody else at the feels good, doesn't it? Anybody else at the $2,500 level? 2,500? Anybody else? 2,500. Again, arguably the most important part of our luncheon here. Again, really made, you know, it was, I've heard from so many people about what a kind of a confusing and chaotic time it is, and you know, yet first responders and medical workers still have to do what they have to do. And then because Sonoma Four Seas was there to take care of the kids, these workers were able to go to work, and that's just so important. You know, I think so many organizations rise to the occasion, and Sonoma Four Seas did that in spades. So anybody else at the $2,500 level? $2,500? Anybody else? $2,500? Wonderful. Okay, now we're getting what's usually affordable for a lot of folks in the room. We always get a number of donations here at this level. Please raise your paddle proudly. If you can come in at the $1,000 level. Who wants to come in at $1,000? Look at the paddles. Here we go. Number 274 for $1,000. Thank you. Appreciate that. Side of the room. Number 131 for $1,000. Thank you. Appreciate it. Give a round of applause, folks. This is why we're here. Thank you so much. Front of the room, coming alive, number 105. Thank you right there. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Who else? Love to get a few more at the $1,000 level. Fair amount of money. I agree with the amount of good that we can do. Again, advocating child care in so many ways, affordable, caring child care. Anybody else at the $1,000 level? I want to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to come in where they're most comfortable here. Is that a $1,000 over there? Anybody else at the $1,000 level? 1,000? Wonderful. Okay. Now we're getting what's affordable for a lot of folks here. 500 is my favorite level. It just adds up so quickly. It's accessible for so many people. Please raise your paddle proudly if you can come in at the $500 level. Fantastic. Here we go. 126 right there at 500. Thank you. 137. Thank you so much. I see a hand up. Do you have a card there? Do you have a number? Well, you can't raise somebody else's paddle. You can't. I appreciate the gesture, though. I appreciate that. Just be sure when you check out, you mark, let them know that you're, there we go, 208 right there for 500, thank you. I often say grab somebody else's paddle, but we don't want to do it. Number 117 right there. This table coming alive, thank you, $500. Number 122, thank you so much, appreciate that. Did I miss anybody over there? Back on this side, here we go. Let me make my way over here. These at the $500 level, watch how quickly these add up. 180 back of the room, thank you so much right there. Is there another one here? 191 at 500. Thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Who else at the $500 level? Again, the amount of good that we can do here. Quality, affordable, caring, dependable, safe child care. So important. Anybody else at the $500 level? Is that a 500 back there? Anybody else at the $500 level? 500? Wonderful. Okay. Now, we're at a great level again. We're at the $250 level. Maybe you're a guest of somebody, maybe you didn't end up paying for your own ticket to be here, just saying. Just throwing it out there. What a lovely way to say thank you to your host, but by throwing your paddle in the air, you had a generous donation of $250. Let's see our $250 donors. Here we go. Number 183 right there. Thank you so much. 132. Look at all the paddles. Here we go. 124. Thank you so much. Look at this table. Come alive. 210. Thank you so much. 267, thank you as well. 293, thank you so much. 197 right there, thank you. 154, give a round of applause, but if you're not raising a paddle, applauding is a lovely thing to do with your head. Number 145 right there, thank you so much. 121, thank you. 103, thank you as well. 292, thank you. Someone's writing these down, right? Just kidding. Number 211, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Who else at the $250 level? 222 right there. Thank you so much. 182 in the back. Thank you. Side of the room. 200, thank you as well. Number 236 right there at the $250 level. Wow, that's a great level of participation. How many of you as well as you ever been at that level? Anybody else want to jump in and join us at the $250 level? The water's warm. Jump on in here again, helping the kids, the kids and the families here at Sonoma County. Anybody else at the $250 level? $250? Anyone else at $250? Wonderful. Okay, our last amount we're going for here tonight, this afternoon, my friends, is the $100 level. I said it before, but I'll say it again. A lot of you probably have a C note. You've got a Benjamin crumpled up in your pocket. You're just going to throw it in the laundry. Don't do that. Leave it here with us tonight. Let's see the generous donations at the $100 level. Look at the paddles. Here we go. I'm going to start at this level. It's all about participation, folks. We're going for 100% participation here. Look at the paddles. Here we go. 245 right there. Thank you so much. 264. Thank you. 265. Thank you for the children of Sonoma County. 207. Thank you so much. 297. Thank you as well. 181. Thank you so much. Front table. Number 176, thank you. 271, thank you guys. Number 108, thank you. 188, thank you. If I didn't already say it, 176, thank you. 118, thank you so much. 268, very well. Number 170 right there, that's 170, thank you so much. 247 right there. Again, give a round of applause. One's right here. 114, you can see how quickly these add up. Coming to the middle of the room. 125 right there, thank you as well. 172, thank you so much. 102, thank you. Number 212, thank you as well. Back in the room, number 157, much appreciated. Number 270 right there, thank you. 258 for $100. This participation is spectacular. Number 135, thank you so much. 225, thank you as well. 153 right there, thank you for Sonoma 4Cs. Number 203 right there, thank you as well. 231, thank you so much. 266 for my friend, thank you so much. Number 141, much appreciated. Now look at this table, that's just about everybody. Number 101, thank you so much. 238 right on. Number 304, thank you so much. Number 234 right there, thank you. 282, thank you so much. 106, thank you. 138 in the back, thank you so much. 109 for $100 right there. 202, thank you so much. 229 right there, thank you as well. Anybody else at the $100 level? What? Oh wait, I see 294 right there. There you go, 294. Oh, sorry, were you waiting for my secret announcement? My very loosely kept secret announcement. We've done this in the past. We're going to do it again. We've had so much fun with it. We got a great prize for you. So now we're going to play what we call the last bidder game, which means the last person to make a donation here in our special appeal today is going to get, this year our prize is 4 day passes to this great place in Orange County called Disneyland. So Disneyland California Adventure. Basically, our last donor night goes away with 4 Disneyland all day passes. That's a $600 value. Right now, my friend here, number 294, you're my last bidder over here. So if nobody else donates, you're going to Disneyland, right? But here's the catch. If anybody else donates, and if it turns out that they're the last donor, they're stealing your day passes. That's how it works. So again, every time you raise your paddle, you're committing to that $100 donation, whether you win or not. But the last donor is going to Disneyland. Right now it's her, unless somebody else donates $100 in 5, 4. All right, so I just saw 181 right there. So now, you're going to Disneyland unless somebody else donates, right? That was short-lived. Now 289 is my last bidder. So again, you're committing that $100 whether you win or not, right? But if nobody else donates, she's going to Disneyland, 4 passes. Sorry about that, I got 181 again. So now you're in for 200, right? So again, every time you raise your paddle, you're donating another $100. But at some point, we get to find out who our last donor is, and they're going to Disneyland. Right now, it's her, unless somebody else donates in 5, 4, 289 again. There you go, back to you for another $100. She's going unless someone else donates $100 in 5, 4, 3. Oh, I saw you first, 170. But then, sorry, right after that, I saw 181 again. So now you're back on top for another 300. She's going to Disneyland if nobody else donates, selling in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I saw 256. I saw 256. But then, sorry, right after that, I saw 211. So I thank you for that, but I'm sorry, right after you, I saw what was it here as the number 113. So now you're my last donor. She's going to Disneyland if no one else donates $100. Again, 4 day passes to Disneyland. She's going if no one else donates $100 in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh! I saw 261, but then I saw 175, but then I saw 289 again, but then I saw 180 again, but then I saw 181 again. You're back on top. She's going to Disneyland. If nobody else donates, $100 puts you back on top. Every time you raise your paddle, you're committing to that $100. You're making the donation. She's going to Disneyland if nobody else donates in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I saw 113 again back there, but then sorry, after I saw you, I saw 256. You're back on top. She's going to Disneyland unless somebody else donates another $100. Selling in 5, 4. It's a really technical game. The last thing you're not going to convince me with a song with your story, but I appreciate the thought. Thank you. I'm trying to convince you with this story. She's going if nobody else donates $100. Selling in 5, 4, 3, 2. $100 steals in 1. Last call. Oh, I saw 167 right there. Now you're going to Disneyland if nobody else donates. She's going unless somebody else donates $100. Selling in 5, 4, 3, 2. Well, I saw 289 again. I saw 289, but then I saw 175, but then I saw 200 again. That's how the game works. And again, we're looking at the last 30. He's going if no one else donates. Selling in 5. It's got to be another $100. 4, 3, 2, 1. Last call, I saw 108, but then I saw 2, is that 285? 285. She's the last bidder right now. She's going to Disneyland if no one else donates $100 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last call, I saw 108. He's back. He's on top. He's going to Disneyland if nobody else donates $100. He's going if no one else donates $100 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who's going to Disneyland? Last call. Oh, I saw 117. No, 177. So it's 177. He's back on top. He's going if no one else donates. Selling in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I saw 108. Oh, I saw 108. But then I saw 181 again. Here's what we're going to do. We might be here all day. And Mike promised we'd get you out of here by 1:30. So here's what I'm going to do. You're going to Disneyland if you're the last bidder. But if anybody wants to bid from now going forward, $250. We're making it a little more exciting here. So she's going unless somebody else wants to donate $250. Last bidder takes it in 5, 4, 3. It's a $600 value. 2, 1. Last call. Anybody at 2? Oh, 266 right there. For $250. So you're making that $250 donation, whether you win or not. He's going to Disneyland if nobody else donates $250 in 5, 4. Last bidder takes it. 3, 2, 1. Last call. Oh, 225 right there. New fire for $250. He's going to Disneyland if nobody else wants it. $250 will take it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last, oh, 108 again. He's going to Disneyland if no one else will come in at the $250 level. Selling in 5, 4, Disneyland, 3, 2, 1. Anybody else at 250? Last call. 271. Same table. Oh, that's cold. That's cold and I like it. He's going to Disneyland if no one else donates $250 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last call. Oh, just on the wire, 169. Board member Nate. Another 250 right there. He's going to Disneyland if no one else jumps back in with another $250 donation in 5, 4. I think we're coming up on it pretty soon here. 3, 2, 1. $250 last call. You're going to Disneyland. You're going to Disneyland. Number 169, congratulations. Folks, give yourselves these in-time applause. You just made a lot of money for Sonoma Four Seasons, and more importantly, for the wonderful organization, for all the kids in Sonoma County who are getting high-quality child care. And one more quick announcement. You'll notice that on everybody's table, you have these envelopes right here. So if there's an amount that you want to donate that you didn't get to, or if you prefer to donate privately, or if there's another, you want to add your donation, feel free to fill out the envelope right here and turn it in, and we'd love to take your money that way as well. So thank you so much, appreciate it. Turn it back over to Mike right here. Keith McClain will be here next, so thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it for Keith, everybody. Come on now. Nice job. Thank you. Let's give a round of applause to all of our donors, everybody. Come on now. We want to, again, say thank you so much for your incredible support of 4Cs. And it is that time in our program where we're going to be introducing you to the 2019 Champions for Children Award winners. There are 6 amazing individuals, and we want to be able to say thank you to this year's selection committee. It was not an easy process. There were literally a few dozen folks that were nominated. We're going to hear more about that in just a minute from Mr. Rumpel. But if you could hold your applause until we introduce each of our selection committee members. We want to say thank you to Paul Sweeten. He's a past 4Cs board member. We want... Phil. Paul is his brother. They're twins. It's amazing. But Phil didn't know that yet. Long story. We'll get into that next year. So thank you so much. Phil's a pretty damn good guy too. So Phil Sweet, let's give Phil a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we like to keep it awkward here on a Friday. So we want to say thank you to Ralph Rumble. No, it's really Peter. But to Peter Rumble from the Santa Rosa Chamber, thank you so much. We want to say thank you to Brad Bollinger from the North Bay District, Herman Hernandez from the Sonoma County Office of Education Board of Trustees, and of course, Dan Riley from Poppy Bank. Give them a round of applause. Our selection committee. It is now my honor to be able to invite Peter Rumble to the stage. He is the executive director of the Santa Rosa Metro Chamber. He's going to be talking to us about the selection process and how challenging it was to be able to select the winners today. There is some cussing, am I right? All right. So ladies and gentlemen, round of applause to Mr. Peter Rumble.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Senator. I'm going to go off script immediately here, really quick. I've got 2 minutes. 2 minutes or less, to be clear, from Tiffany. So I'm going to go ahead and blow right through that. The first thing that I want to do is recognize 2 elected officials at the risk of only recognizing 2. The first one is Senator McGuire himself. I saw it from 2017 to 2018, now to 2019. There is nobody, I'm going to curse now, there is nobody who works harder than this guy. He is killing himself in Sacramento for our community. He's killing himself for the kids, for our institutions, and there's nobody I would rather want in Sacramento than this guy. Thank you so much. The next guy does not get recognized because he's no longer sitting there. No, I'm kidding. Dominic Popoli, wherever he went, the mayor of Windsor did a hell of a job. Yeah, absolutely. This time around, making sure that everybody knew what was going on, making sure that everybody was safe as possible, and making sure that our communities were cared for. A lot of deserved attention is given to the people out on the front lines, battling walls of flame, literally. But without people like Mike, without people like Dominic, our communities suffer greatly. So I really want to recognize you. The next group I want to recognize are the people that you'll be seeing in the videos and the people at 4Cs. While doing the videos, they were taking calls to provide emergency assistance during the fires. They were mobilizing, as we already heard, at St. Joseph's and other places. So I want to make sure that we are recognizing all of our champions and everybody at Four Cs for taking care of our community while also at the same time making sure that our award ceremony went off. So everybody, please give them a round of applause. All right, so now I'm back on script, 2 minutes or less. All right, so we had over 50 nominations this year. This was the largest number of nominations out of any year of this celebration. And we were going through people's names, many of whom were friends or people that we had heard about in our community or worked with in the past. And I have got to say that, taking a Sunday evening from like dinner time to put my kids down to sleep into the wee hours of the morning, reading through all of these applications, it was not only tiresome, no, just kidding, it was very humbling. It was truly humbling to read through what everybody is doing for our community. It was also a very self-reflective moment for me, making myself question what I am doing for our community and whether or not I am doing everything that I can for our kids. I got to say that every one of the nominees was absolutely deserving of recognition, even though we are recognizing only a few today. And I think that when you are asking yourself that question, if I am doing everything that I can for our community, the awardees that we will see today give you an example of what you can do individually or as an organization to make our community better, to make it what we all strive to have. So let's give all of our nominees a hand. And with that, we are, thank you, Tiffany, going to jump into our first video.
I knew all along that I wanted to work with children with some differences or some needs. One thing I teach them and I love to realize that we have a really inclusive mentality about families and children. So even in the preschool that I teach and co-direct, it's definitely inclusive. So at least half of the children are children who've gotten early start services, and then half of the children are children from the community. And particularly with young children, it doesn't take many words, it doesn't take much explanation about why Johnny can do these things, but these things are more challenging. And they kind of go, oh, okay, and then they're gone. So I think it's about forming relationships and knowing somebody who has differences. What our job is to be in the moment and validate the fact that the children are not all the same. So somebody may call out a difference or find surprise with the difference. And rather than saying, no, they're not different, or no, don't talk like that, we tend to go, you're right. So-and-so really is different, and it is hard for him or her to ride bikes. But look what else they can do or whatever. There's so many great people in the field, people at ELI, people at SCO, who this is what we do. The children give us tremendous strength because they're so darn resilient. And even the little ones who have some big challenges, they're pretty happy most of the time. So they really give us strength, I think.
It is my pleasure to present the Girl College Girl Care and Education Award to Pat Ballett for teaching young children in special needs for over 46 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause, please, to Pat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pat, and congratulations, and well-deserved. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now our pleasure to be able to bring forward our next Champions for Children Award. And I want to just say a few words about this award winner. She immigrated to the United States at the age of 8. She's the first in her family to graduate from high school. She's the first in her family to graduate from college. And she did college big. She became a PhD in education, policy, and organizational leadership. She got that PhD from the University of Illinois. She's the director now of the College Assistance Program at Mendocino College. And in 2016, ladies and gentlemen, she became the first Latina to be elected to the Board of Trustees at the Santa Rosa Junior College. She's also a mom of a feisty 5-year-old. Let's give a round of applause to Mariana Garcia Martinez. Let's go to
I'm a Mexican immigrant in a society that sees me as Chicano or Mexican American, and mostly I work more with youth. And transitioning from high school to college or from middle school to high school, I'm like, you have to kind of see that as an asset. And how do we figure out to make that an asset? Even when they write personal statements, I'm like, so you grew up poor, so did I. How do we hustle to figure out X, Y, and Z? Because that's what we have to do. And see it as a positive rather than a negative. The one thing that people cannot take is your knowledge, your education, what you've learned. You have to give back, right? I need to figure out how to help kids find their own path and their own passion because it's important. And sometimes other people cut those wings off way too early, and I'm like, yeah, they don't deserve that. Latinos actually have the lowest reading levels across the country. Like when we do testing, they're not up to par in the reading levels, whether it be first grade, second, or third grade. I live in Roseland, so to me it's like even more critical because there's a lot of limbo with the Roseland Library. The first part is small libraries or give books to different businesses across Sebastopol Road. The end goal is to actually have neighborhood libraries or little libraries. But for the project itself to get the books, I did partner up with the city of Santa Rosa. So we were able to buy more books. In general, we're trying to create literacy, we're trying to create awareness earlier and having these children really think, oh, this is what I can do. I think we are moving in that direction to create a more aware, critical thinking, community. So I'm very hopeful. I think they have a good future now, but it's up to us to make policy to help.
We want to hear you loud and proud. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Mariana Garcia Martinez. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now honored to be able to present our Strong Families Champion for Children Award. She is the CEO and former board chair of Corazon Hillsborough. This amazing woman oversees 10 programs that serve low-income families in Sonoma County, and she is responsible for pretty much every one of them. She's responsible for program design and evaluation. She's responsible for fundraising, financial oversight, and establishing community partnerships. And I gotta tell you, you see what people are made of when the tough times hit. And what we found is this next award winner, she is full of grit, hard work, and she doesn't take no for an answer. She's been instrumental in her response to the Kincaid fire and the power shutoffs, providing low-income families and kids with food, rental assistance, and the ability to be able to make car payments. She's keeping families together. Ladies and gentlemen, our next award winner, let's give it up for Ariel Kelly, ladies and gentlemen.
Corazon's mission is to bridge the racial and economic divide in northern Sonoma County, and we do so through community-driven programs and social impact. Corazon has 6 full-time employees and an amazing volunteer corps of thousands that help us do the work that we're doing. We definitely are able to adapt and really serve our clients that we already have developed relationships with in a broader capacity when they're going through a crisis like what's happened with the fires. And I think we're very well positioned to do that work because of our relationships that we already have. I would say on the other hand, it really underscores underscores the need for our work. So we know that helping families get out of poverty is really one of the only ways they're going to be resilient in a situation like this, to be able to build financial capacities so that a small setback or a large setback, like losing a week of work, is not a debilitating loss for your family that sends you into a downward spiral. And so I think when we see emergency situations like this, and we see the thousands of people who are waiting outside this door to really get served and to help get back on their feet, we know that our work is not over. It's just beginning, and to build capacity and to help folks who are really struggling right now, both triage this current situation, but then build resiliency so that they're more prepared in the long run. We're a nonprofit, so fundraising is a huge part of what we do, especially right now during the Kincaid fire. We're raising funds and distributing funds to people in need. We're in the process of doing a fundraiser right now for fire relief, and so our hope is that people will continue to support that so we can be a long-term partner for many of the people who lost their homes in our community.
Coming to the stage, our award winner for Strong Family. Let's give it up for Rosario Pelly. Congratulations, Ms. Kelly. Thank you so much for your work. We are now excited to be able to welcome to the stage our next presenter. Her name is Ronnie Brown. She is from Summit State Bank, and she is a proud champion sponsor. Ms. Brown, if you can please come forward to be able to introduce our Healthy Communities Award winner. It's nice to see you again.
I'm a little older than he is, I have to put my specs on. It is my honor to present the Healthy Communities Champion Award to Dr. Bernard Pearl. Dr. Bernard Pearl has been the medical director of the Santa Rosa Community Health Pediatric Campus and Elsie Allen Campus since 2016. The pediatric campus provides integrated medical and mental health care and dental screenings for over 7,000 low-income children every year. The Elsie Allen campus provides specialized care for over 2,000 teens between ages 12 and 19 from across Santa Rosa. Please welcome Dr. Bernard Pearl to the stage after we watch the video.
What got me into pediatric medicine is that I've always loved children, and I've always really experienced a lot of joy being around children, no matter how bad things are for them and whatever illnesses they might have and experiences they might have. Children tend to be naturally very resilient, and we get to see them get better all the time. One of the things I'm really proud of about the work here at Pediatrics and also at the Teen Clinic is how we work as a team. And I think everybody who works here knows that their ideas are highly valued, and many times it's the ideas from the staff and then from our patient advisory council as well that lead to a lot of great improvements. So I want to thank our whole team at Pediatrics and Teen Clinic. We take the approach of doing as many things that we can to strengthen families and strengthen the resilience of our patients and their families here. Now that we're screening for adverse childhood experiences, we have the opportunity to do a lot of prevention work. An adverse childhood experience is any type of trauma that a child might experience. If someone has some number of ACEs in their background, for example, we will find out what kind of services they might be interested in, make sure that they're aware of all the things we have, including integrated mental health services here, and many other kinds of groups and things that might really benefit them, because what we know about ACEs is if we do nothing, it presents a very great health risk to them really for their future. So we try to intervene and offer services and buffers as early as possible so that the children grow up healthier, and that history maybe doesn't have to repeat itself in the next generation.
We have the doctor in the house. A champion for all kids. Fighting abuse, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the big doctor. Our next champion for children award winner. Give her a round of applause, please. If we can have the entire team from the medical center stand up, let's give them a round of applause too. Say thank you. And take a look at community health. Thank you. We are so excited to be able to bring forward this next individual to the stage. We're now about to present the Safe Surroundings Award. This gentleman established Sound Ideas Media as a company whose primary goal is to offer comprehensive, reliable, and responsible service to its clients. And over the many years that this individual has had this company, he has enjoyed giving back to Sonoma County through incredible work with nonprofits that benefit kids throughout the community. Ladies and gentlemen, to be able to bring forward this next award winner, let's welcome Mr. Don Mills to the stage, and let's go to the video.
I like working directly helping kids. A long time ago in the 2030 Club, I learned the motto of it's very important to serve children. If you give them the amount of love and attention early on, they will respond much better. And maybe that's because I'm a father, and I learned a long time ago through daddy-daughter dances or father-son camping trips that it was important to be involved in your kids growing up. Through our 20 years of serving Sonoma County, we have learned how to stay in business, we have learned how to expand, and offer different ways to helping nonprofits. I find these jewels, I find these parts of our community that help out our kids. And sometimes it's important to give a little extra effort, either by discounting our price or help sponsor an event, or by just donating our services. But the important thing is to make sure that we could help the nonprofits with a video that tells their story and pulls at the heartstrings to help bring in the funds to keep them successful. Because there's so many kids out there that don't have food, that don't have childcare. Working with 4Cs over several years, I've found there's so many people out there in the community that do so much for the kids. I believe if more people got involved in the kids at a younger age, our community would be so much stronger.
Giving back each and every day, loud and proud. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Don Mills. We want to say thank you to Mr. Don Mills, ladies and gentlemen. We are so thrilled to be able to bring this next individual to be able to present our final award of the day, which is Positive Social Connections. Mr. Flanagan is really special, and the entire Flanagan family is special to 4Cs. Not only do they own a hell of a winery, Flanagan Wines, that Melanie really enjoys. I'm kidding. She does, but we won't go there. Eric's daughter, Riley, has given back so much over the years. She is now away at college, and we miss her deeply. But the Flanagans are one of the biggest supporters of 4Cs. And every year we have Mr. Flanagan or Riley, she's here back from college, be able to come forward. And I think we owe them a debt of gratitude because we couldn't do what we do each and every year with the Flanagan family. To be able to present our final award, let's give it up for Mr. Eric Flanagan, please.
He's just the best, isn't he? Mike's great. As he mentioned, I'm presenting on behalf of Riley. I don't know if any of you saw Saturday Night Live in the 70s with Chevy Chase. He would always open the weekend update by saying, Generalissimo Francisco Franco is still dead. And I feel like Riley Flanagan is still in college, so that's why you're seeing me. She's a junior though, so only one more year of me, then you get Riley back. So that'll be great for everybody. So I have the privilege to introduce somebody great, Clint St. Martin. Clint shared with me a little bit of his story before lunch. When he was a teenager, he got to do the Devil Pups boot camp. They're in a very intense military-style boot camp for young kids. And it changed his life in a really big way and set him on a different path. And after that, he went on to be a Marine and be in the military and serve in the military, and also be a firefighter, volunteer firefighter. He got certified as a EMT. So he had this huge life experience since that. And he's, for I guess 17 years now, worked with Devil Pups, mentoring other kids. So he's got 15 kids that he's mentoring now, and hoping to get that to 20. And a lot of those kids, he said maybe 3/4 of them will go do that boot camp that he did. So he's working to also not only get them to do that, but to connect them to people in all the different fields he's had experience in, and help them make decisions about what they're going to do in college, what career they might be interested in, or maybe they're going to go into the military, whatever their choices are. I think it's awesome that he took the thing that changed his life in a positive way and brought that to other people. So without further ado, we're going to roll the video. We're not going to bring him to the stage though until after the video.
Devil Pups was a youth organization started in 1954. Some Marine Corps officers got together and decided to put together a 10-day youth leadership program that teaches kids self-confidence and the better values of what it means to be an American. I got involved in 2001 as a high school student, and it changed the course of history for me, like where my life was going to go. It gave me a tremendous amount of growth. It reduced procrastination. It increased productivity. It made me get up earlier and want to be involved in organized sports and just drive harder. I never felt so motivated, and that is why I got involved. We've continued to get better and get more participation and increase the program from a 10-day leadership camp for kids in the summer with the Marines to nearly a year-round comprehensive community-involved program for all the kids that are involved. So the kids that get involved in Devil Pups are kids that are seeking a little extra challenge in life. We challenge them, we motivate them, we work with them physically, mentally, we educate them on history, we educate them in career development and introduce them to different mentors and different aspects of the community. If you want to join the military, we're going to introduce you to every branch. We're going to talk about all the different jobs that are available. But maybe the military isn't your thing. Maybe you want to be a first responder. We'll introduce you to law enforcement. We'll introduce you to firefighting. We'll introduce you to EMS. Maybe they want to be a pilot. And so to take kids and get them behind the stick is, for many kids, myself included, is a pipe dream. I didn't think that that was something I would ever really be able to do. And just see the growth and confidence in the kids when they come back as well. And you can just see that they've blossomed, they've come into themselves, and they do have direction and purpose and discipline. And it's like, it's just amazing to me watching that transformation happen over a year.
Let's welcome our next award winner. Ladies and gentlemen, Clint St. Martin. Changing the next generation here in Sonoma County. Clint, hold that up loud there, right there. Let's give it up for Mr. St. Martin, everybody. Come on now. Congratulations and welcome, sir. Thank you. Congrats. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have each of our award winners to please stand, and let's give them one more round of applause. Each of our award winners, please stand up and say thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are so grateful that all of you would take the time out of your busy schedules to be with us today. A few housekeeping notes, and then we're going to send you on your way. Number one, save the date and break out the chalice. because Four Seas Gala, which has a theme of Wild Wild West, Mr. Mills is ready to go with his chap, so watch out. It is going to be April 25th, 2020. April 25th, 2020. Save the date now. Going to ask that each of our award winners please come forward for a group photo. And on behalf of the entire Four Seas organization, thank you for your continued support. Thank you for making today such a success. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much. Thank you. If we have each of our award winners, please come forward. We're also going to have each of the Four Seas board members who are here. Four Seas board members, if you could also please come forward. We're looking for Four Seas board members to please advance to the stage at this time. All right. Come on up.